Okay, hello everyone, whoever is gonna watch this. And today we're gonna be playing the Tyranny, the Obsidian RPG that I attempted to play here some time ago, but the sound quality was dreadful, and thus I decided to just give it a fresh start now that the sound volume and sound levels is more or less fixed. Yeah, I have exactly one attempt in the Tyranny, so I'm not. Let's see how it goes. I'm gonna be playing on like the normal difficulty because CRPGs are like, I like them, but I'm far from great when it comes to playing them. So we're gonna do just that.
For over 400 years, the armies of Kairos the Overlord have swept across the known world. All who stood against them fell before their might. Even the Archons, women and men of immense power, were forced to kneel, chained to the Overlord's will. Now Kairos' final conquest has come to our corner of the world, and two of the Overlord's armies compete for the honor of taking our lands. The elite disfavored, and the teeming horde of the Scarlet Chorus. The voices of Nerat, spy master and Archon of secrets, guides the fierce and undisciplined masses of the Scarlet Chorus. With each battle, the Scarlet Chorus grows stronger, as the defeated are given a simple choice: serve or die. Graven Ash, Archon of War and the Overlord's most loyal general, leads the disfavored. Though small in number, Kairos' ironclad legion has never met true defeat in open battle. Watching over the two generals is Tunon, the Adjudicator, Archon of Justice, eldest of Kairos' minions. Tunon brings Kairos' laws to newly conquered lands, aided by the Fatebinders, judges and executioners of the Overlord's laws. You were among the youngest of the court of Fatebinders when Kairos' armies came to our lands. How could we have known that the fate of thousands would rest in your hands?
So the one thing that caught my attention and made me interested in playing Tyranny is the fact that we are playing as like the evil guy. The metaphorical empire has already lost, so there is like, yeah, we just gonna serve the evil overlord now. Okay, and we're gonna select some portraits. Again, my general experience with CRPGs of this format are kind of far and few in between. I like them, I appreciate them, but I'm definitely far from great when it comes to being played. I'm not as attuned to like the balance or anything, so we just gonna hope that it will go more or less good.
That wasn't so hard. I'm injured, tired. Let's rest.
And I guess we're gonna try to creating the character, gonna try to create something that is like resembling the portrait that we chose, at least for now. I doubt tattoos will affect anything, but they're just cool looking, so we'll do just that. Yeah, and I like this one. Yeah, simple but good looking. Ooh. I am a noble pit fighter, not wishing to pay to feed and house to the madam that purchased your mother, sold you to the pruning grounds and other implied bodies and notorious fighting area. So gladiator, hunter, guild apprentice, soldier, lawbreaker. I mean, like role playing like the criminal who just got into Kairos' army, war mage, diplomat, or noble scion. I attempted to play a noble scion before, and I chose it because it just sounds interesting to basically be like noble who realized that hey, the Kairos won, we might as well join him. But so I guess it's gonna, this stream and all the subsequent is gonna be an attempt to recreate the last one and improve upon it, because there are definitely things that I didn't know about that were specific to this game, and now I'm a little bit more knowledgeable, thus can make better decisions, I guess. We'll see. Chances are I'm gonna screw it up royally, and ooh, shoot, I should have probably selected the expert mode, that if I got into the fight where we all just die, it's gonna be the end game. Nah, that's not a great idea. Again, I have very little experience. My experience with CRPGs is not that great, so I don't think I could have handled that. Though maybe if I complete this one, I heard that it's of the shorter one. The shorter one of all the CRPGs, maybe we can try to do that on the next playthrough. Again, possibly. Now. Yes. Great sword, sword and shield. Bow, shock spells, figure spells, javelin, dual wielding, frost spells, atrophy spells. I prefer to play as the warrior type. It's just something that I found satisfying in games, so I guess that's gonna be it. And we're gonna choose the greatsword proficiency, because greatswords are just great. I just love it, so. And for the second one, I guess war mace. Another two-handed weapon, no. Javelin, dual wielding. Spear and shield. I guess spear and shield might be a good one. Should I do the dual wielding? Nah, do spear and shield. And slamming shield into people's faces, that's gonna be it. Okay, let's see. Let's create a good looking icon. Who do you serve? Saruman. Or this one. Nah, this one is like Frostbite logo, so no. I do like... I guess because I'm sovereign... Or... Tunon, I guess that should be it. Although this for some reason reminds me of the Necrons from... Necrons, like... Baron Sigil or something like that. Let's see, maybe this. Okay. Nah, gonna go with that one. And gold and purple. Or maybe the other way, purple and gold. That's the good one. Yeah. That little bit less bright, so yeah. Purple and gold, and we also wearing purple and gold. Neat. Ooh. Yay. Yeah, but choosing the name in the RPGs is gonna be the bane of my existence. Is there a randomized name? Oh, I guess but if we're gonna be derivative, might as well. Agathon. Yeah, that's cool. My finesse resolve. Yep. We're gonna be mighty, but somewhat resolute. Yeah. Two-handed. Lore. Lore skill. Lore skill determines the character's ability to decipher information. That's just gonna be a good one to have in general. Because, yeah, lore just seems like if it's gonna be like used in dialogues for knowledge, that's gonna be important. So I guess this is gonna be our skill set. We're still gonna be like primarily fighting, but we also have we can actually do athletics, and we are also have some lore. So this knowledge is power. Maybe this will allow us to get out of the difficult situations without fight, at least in theory. Conquest. Yeah, I guess Conquest, because it's gonna be my first playthrough. I want to have a little bit more agency in role playing, so yeah. And now we're gonna be looking.
All the world has fallen to Kairos, and now the Overlord's eye is on the Tears, our home. The last corner of the world free of Kairos' reign. Two armies, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, march south from the Northern Empire, the last realm to fall to Kairos a century prior.
Yeah, we're gonna be looking at a lot of slideshows and doing the interactive adventure thing, so give me a second. Yep, that's good. Just change some settings and worked in OBS, so Okay, good, good. Now we can come back. Sorry for this slight delay.
In the early days of 428, Kairos' armies arrive at the Gates of Judgment, the mountainous border that we Tearsmen so long believed unassailable. Unable to agree on a unified plan of defense, the various leaders of the Tears sit and wait for each other to deal with the conquerors, until it's too late.
Okay, during the conquest you will decide the character's action during the Kansas invasion, choose shaping the world through which you will adventure over the course of the game. You choose makes an effective character and how major faction and tier responds to your decisions, choose wisely. The bastard city stood in the northern border between Kairos Empire and Tears, built upon a natural harbor of crossroads between realms. It's a nexus of commerce. It's gonna be the first target of Kairos' military, and we determine how to do it. Okay, so Gates of Judgment. History would remember the Gates of Judgment as the first battle. Gates of Judgment, Americans took the battle to the Gates of Judgment, trampling the opening couple conquest of Tears. The two armies brought their distinct sense of order and chaos to the assault. You went to battle strike army of those who approached by serious strength. Okay. I'm the warrior, so I guess I'm gonna choose to like Gates of Judgment. I'm also noble, so we're gonna fight here. Standing shield to shield with the Kairos sign and Cloud you advanced on the mercenary army purchased by nobles or bastard city. The Legion wanted to send a message to the Tears that superior breeding and discipline training would win the day. You crushed with the chaotic master Scarlet Cobras, flanked the bastard city's army and drove them to flee. I guess we're gonna choose the disfavored here. The bastard city learned too late that the military is earned and never bought. The mercenary army quickly found themselves outclassed by the superior tactics and formation of the disfavored. Those who lived to the end of a battle were rounded up, the weak executed and strong enslaved to hold the army's wagons on the journey south. Ooh. The judge of the enemy, the soldiers of the Tears fell by hundreds, and Kairos' army could not agree how to handle a few survivors. They dragged back to the camp. 15 in a row, the commander turned you to decide the fate of those who occupied prison pens. There were only enough prisoners to support the plan of a single army. Or within the host, against the most optimistic projection, the disfavored and Skull Cordons made a short work of the local defenders. They did so well that the armies quickly outpaced their supply caravans. Troops were plentiful, but food was scarce. You only had time to execute one plan to secure provision. I guess. Let's see what this one. The disfavored and slave needed slaves to hold their gear, dig latrines, and keep the palace warm at night. Ooh. Or that you gave prisoner a chance to surrender Kairos' army or die. The Scarlet Caucus was in need of extra troops to fill up the vanguard. Or that you authorized the spare troops to confiscate food supplied from traveling merchant caravan. Or you authorized the Scarlet Caucus to send their horde to pillage. No, we just gonna judge the enemies and allow them to a chance to basically join the ranks of the Kairos. You armed cooperative ex-soldiers with scrap weapons and tossed them into vanguard of Scarlet Corps' assault. Those who survive were welcome to take up the arms and armor of the fallen and eke out of this desperate struggle to survive in Kairos' military. After their first victory, you rewarded the new recruits with the opportunity to execute their wounded or reluctant countrymen. I guess that's what we did. The armies of Kairos amassed around the bastard city, the first bastion of the Tears to fall. both armies long to storm the wall. The post the Scarlet Calls calling for plunder in disfavored, forming an breakable shield wall. Your prowess on the field of battle had carried them this far, but this was only one more step before total victory. Yeah, when I first attempted to play it, I had a completely different outcomes here, so I guess there is a lot of variety. Ooh, ability concealing shadows. Disfavored. Yeah, that's gonna be good. Or Siren Palm. No, I'm not a magic user, so I'm just gonna be... So the damage reduction and slight healing would be a great way. Plus this one, if we're gonna do that, we're gonna heal like a total of 60% of our health, which is pretty good. With heroic courage and legendary determination, the disfavored battered the gates of Battle City to splinters. Those who fell under the consistent hail of arrows or cascades of ball and pitch left the battlefield temporarily, only to appear hours later as Archon's grave ashes protection healed their numerous wounds. In time, the gates gave way and Kai's forces spilled inside the city walls to resounding cheers of victory. Yeah, I guess like I didn't expect it to be that varied in terms of like approach, so I might choose something different from what it was. But the city settled into a new state of normalcy with every tower displaying Kars's banner. Your name was whispered alongside rumors of a decorated career to come. The armies divided into two fronts and migrated south. The Tunon sent the word that you were to join the next frontier of Kars's conquest, easy as a judge or overseer settlement of Lithian's crossing, or as a war advisor with the armies advancing in the realm of Apex. Lithian crossing or Apex. I guess I'm gonna choose Apex. I'm gonna roleplay as more of like just straightforward military dude who likes fighting, but also sometimes dabbles in diplomacy. So maybe this will give us like some. Actually, in that regard, Lithian Crossing would make a better to mix up because our first stop here was basically total battle. Yeah. Going to Lithian Crossing. Lithian Crossing. Years ago, the Bold founded a small merchant town at the intersection of ancient old wars. A pact between the settlers and the mercenary company meant that caravans were able to travel without fear of bandits or bane, and the town thrived in the modest insignificance. Lithian Crossing drew Kars's attention for the iron deposits. With the region under Kars's control, the northern smith mages could set up a workshop to refine ore and arms that is favored with the finest weapons in the known world. Cool. Okay, the iron must flow. Kars's smith mages worked day and night to create weapons. No one faulted their dedication, yet production was slow. The plans that came to light provided visor to Disfavored and Scarlet Corks. On one hand, any additional manpower was needed for fighters, not forges. On the other hand, the celebrated vapor Kars's army needed to be fiercely guarded. Or the cult of Sirin, an Arconauts songs use her arcane charms to lure locals into joining Kars's army. As a patroness of the Scarlet Corals, her efforts were critical to the conscription of new recruits. When enthralled, his favorite soldier joined her cult. His company feared that the Archon has grown out of control and needed to be stopped. So what did they choose? Scarlet Coast's tradition, you send the latest batch of cultists to the front lines of Apex campaign. Those who survive are welcome back to remain Kaiser's army, and their performance would stand as testimony to Syrian effectiveness. The Destroyer demanded that Archon of Song cease her recruitment practices and that they are allowed to violently subdue her cult of followers. The loss of soldiers was a significant setback to Scarlet Corps' conscription. Yes, and here Scarlet Corps took refugees from the recent influx and forced them to serve in Kaiser's military. You repurposed these individuals to haul wagons of iron for smith mages. These proved inconvenient for Scarlet Corps, who relied on their force now to be effective in the field, or you conscript help from local tribes of beastmen. Their strength would more than offset their disobedience. The disfavored protested that soldiers have access to the secret of iron, but their voices were few compared to the support of Scarlet Corps. Ooh. I guess if it's famous for the iron, we must concentrate on the iron. So yeah, we need iron. We need more weapons. The population of Lithian Rogins has swelled from the empty lands destroyed by Kara's armies. Although the Scarlet Corps was forced to keep the refugees under their control, the need for production could not wait. The new recruits were reassigned to haul iron ore from treacherous mine shafts, labor more befitting slaves than Kara's artisans. The study grew stronger with the advantage of more weapons. Scarlet Corps diminished as their ranks found themselves with one less opportunity for growth. Maybe next time. Speak of the armory. Since you aided the production of weapons, commanders of both armies lobbied for the additional arms. They offered all manners of bribes to the next life for a fitting session with the Masters of Forge. How did you set your lust for iron? You let this favorite have the iron, keeping the best tools in the hands of the elite. The Scarlet Corps saw slight as an obvious display of preferential treatment. Gave iron arms to Scarlet Corps commanders, knowing they pay very well for any killing tool. Weapons of such a claim was typically reserved for the highest disfavored officer, but you were open to changing the tradition under the circumstances, or you allowed no changes to the orderly dissipation of armor and punished those who tried to bribe you twice. Nah, that sounds cool. That's basically, don't try to bribe me, I'm here to do a job. Using language that left nothing open to interpretation, you let both of the commanders know that bribery would not be tolerated in Kairos' military. Yeah, because we are overlords' armies, we're evil overlords' army, but we're effective for a reason. That didn't stop either of them from seeking you out again, making promises of wealth and advancement if you showed special favor. Deciding that enough was enough, you ordered both of the commanders flogged in view of their armies, letting pain and humiliation teach them where reason had failed. Yay! Who controlled the crossing? The tragedy stuck when a mercenary is hired by the voices of narrating due to a forge-bound artisan. Leaving him able to practice his craft, Tunon ordered the mercenary to leave his city in the hand of Kairos' more responsible servant. Only a token garrison could be left behind while the armies returned to the front. As a disfavored Scarlet Corps shoved the increased intention and conspired to watch each other, Tunon decreed it best that only one force control the crossing. You granted control of Lathan crossing to the disfavored. I guess we're gonna grant it to disfavored. It's an Lithian crossing is important for iron production and they're iron legions, so yeah, makes sense they're gonna control it. Plus Scarlet Corps does not spark me as very diplomatic and level-headed when it comes to keeping control of the city. They, at least for now, the disfavored placed a modest kind zone in settlement of Lithian crossing, though the force was larger than might be needed to police a small settlement. Protecting the forge-bound ironsmith became the true agenda of the defense force, as these magical craftsmen kept disfavored invasion force suited in iron. Relieved at the departure of Scarlet Corps, the citizens of Lithian Crossing felt they got the least of two burdens. You received word that gave action, thanking you for the decision, the forge-bound and their weaponry could not be trusted to voices of Nerat. Ooh, another thing that I pointed out in the last stream, attempt, that will be lost to time probably because of how shit quality it was. The tooltip that that you can open above any and all terms that are significant to the story, that's very helpful. That helped me. I saw it in some more recent RPGs, but yeah, that's a very helpful thing. And if I'm gonna encounter something that is some term that is rather obscure or I have no idea what it means, it will be, I can just read it up instead of having the wiki open on the second screen. Ooh. Guys, despite the Archon Stone to subjugate nation of Azure, with easy defended position and rich military tradition, the realm of Stalwart was the most formidable realm in tiers, and Balloon Citadel, Kyros's conquering gaze fell upon the Balloon Citadel, its treasures, its knowledge, its secrets. Wow. Stalwart seems like a opportunity for battle, plus taking the hold of like easily defended position first could be advantageous, rather not leave something like that behind the lines. That might prove more problematic at the end, so we're gonna go to Stalwart. If I clicked it correctly. 430 TR. The Mal Stalwart was best known for its proud army, the disciplined, courageous, and undefeated on the home cell. Hey, sounds like disfavored. Maybe we're gonna get something interesting out of it. A contentious setback. After defeated the cancer of enemy defense, Calcors accused the favorite of righteousness. Martial empty. Yeah, contentious setback. Known that his favorite reputation for discipline as well as Calcors' power flew in Stophian frenzy, he decided that Scarlet Course was in the wrong. Like a proof the Scarlet Course recruits were negligent, you banish this favorite command of the fence and for bringing the charges without evidence. I mean, we don't have reasons to believe either, but I guess we're gonna support this favorite here because like they are more disciplined and should be more reliable, in theory at least. The Scarlet Coats were non-plus to receive some censure, but I guess that the disfavored would not share in the blame. Soldiers hurled venomous accusation your way, challenging you impartially and wondering where justice could be found, if not in Tunon's Fatebinder. They argued that reputation should have no bearing on law. Maybe that's correct. Yay. Negative conscriptions. Calico Soldier was spotted fighting inside the stalwart defenders. The voices of Narat insisted they were spies and to engage the army's weakness, and so discontent is favored to soldiers of treason. That amount the bloody reprisal. Okay. And this fall of the Radiant. The armies of Kairos collaborated on capture of enemy leader. The Scarlet Corps requested that she is interrogated by Akron's secrets. It is fair wish to display her corpse in battle. Since Tower defense refused to surrender, the gesture was needed to instill fear. Now we're not gonna tell, but you ordered the enemy cannot be sent to voices of Nerat. Trusting that Kairos' spy master knew his business, he ordered that it is fair to ignore Scarlet Horse agents, or it is fair to execute these spies when they were found. Ooh. This? Against that better insult, the Sphere showed restraint and avoidance Scarlet Corps operatives on a battlefield. When days passed and the Corps agents didn't report back to camp, he questioned the voice of Narrator and his claims, to which he cautioned patience. Several evenings later, one of the so-called spies stumbled into Scarlet Corps' camp and requested an audience with the voices. No one knew what they discussed in the privacy of his tent, and no one ever saw the soldier again. The voice of Narrator merged with a quiet sense of conscience, saying, "Trust us, it will all work in our favor." Let's hope it does. The desired carved a slow straight path into the heart of Stout and surrounded the enemy massive fortress. With the main bulk of the forces defeated, the enemy leadership retreated to the mighty fortress. The Edict casts the most powerful magic, that of an Indian command, and cast upon a whole region that can control and destroy men and nature alike. Once cast, an edict can rain fire with the ropes, demolish cities, usher endless nights, or do whatever it is that Kairos envisioned. No known force, magic, or mundane can stop an edict. It just sounds like a big Deus Ex Machina level spell. Or cheat codes. I'm gonna agree with Scarlet Course on this one because we don't need unnecessary sacrifice, unnecessary death, especially if we want to control the region. We might show them a little bit more leniency. Kairos' wrath was intended for the cowardly regions of Star Wars, not those unfortunate swept out in the calamity of the leadership. A warning in advance of the spell would give locals time to prepare for the devastation to come. Your continued punishment fall on the innocent as likely as Kairos will allow. Comforted by your might yet spare lives, you broke the seal of Kairos' edicts of storm and read the Orless incantation. The clear skies darkened as you read the final words of the edict, a flurry of wind, rain, blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Yep, we gonna continue now.
The year is 431, and Kairos' invasion has shattered all major opposition in the tiers. The Younger Realms, the Bastard Tier, the Free Cities. All who defied Kairos lay broken by battle, or bowed in surrender. The two armies of the Overlord, the Disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus, now control our lands. But our will is not yet extinguished. Not entirely. In the Valley of Vendrian's Well, those of us unwilling to bow to Kairos have banded together in defiance. Violating an oath of surrender from 2 years prior, we have staged a bloody uprising, murdering the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus garrison in a midnight assault. With their main forces spread across the tiers, the Disfavored and Scarlet Chorus redeploy to Vendrian's Well to crush the resistance, but months pass with no definitive battle. As disagreement and discord paralyze the Archons, we bide our time and wait for our message of insurrection to spread across the tiers. The Overlord is not amused, and Kairos has one message for the Archons: crush the Oathbreakers or die. Kairos backs this threat with an edict, a magical commandment that can slay all in the valley should the order be ignored. The honor of proclaiming this edict fell to you. Sent across the mountains to Vendrian's Well, you carry the Overlord's edict to read before the Archons. As you finally make your way through the winding mountain passes into the valley, the ground trembles, and Kairos' magic seals the way behind you. You are trapped in Vendrian's Well, with Kairos' armies and the Oathbreakers. The only way to survive is to fulfill the terms of the Overlord's edict, in any way that you can.
The giant statue that reeks the blood. That's great. I need this on my... I need this on like some heavy metal album cover. I'm pretty sure it's something out of this line. Guys, the Overlord be praised. Then when I heard the avalanche, I feared the valley was sealed with you on the other side. The commander wouldn't say why the government of Lithian Crossing would be coming, but since we have no fortress here, I imagine you're here to knock some sense into the voices of Nerat. I mean, mediate with Archons so that we might agree on a plan to wipe the Oathbreakers. Your senses see more than mine, the good fate finder. Okay. I'm in a hurry to do a message diagram. Well, you've turned a long way. I won't keep you further. I'm sure the Archons will want to hear from you at more honors. Third time this week. The Oathbreakers keep trying to send a messenger through the mountain to gather help from outside the valley. But they'll be too late for that now. Come, let's show these Oathbreakers a good fight. Conversation. Done. Your characters can always perform basic attacks using their good weapon or the...
I got it. Take that!
Seems like what do Badrian Guard hope to accomplish? I don't know who they think. Yes.
On it. Will do. Will do.
Just don't bother with me, go down, bastard. You're wounded, and it's not trivial. This but a scratch I've seen twice worse 10 times over. You go and help others. Well, I tried to
Sorry,
help him.
I can't.
Try and catch me, worm.
This one's crazy, too much letting go water. We should cut our losses and turn back.
Fate finder. You're here at last. Care to join me in putting these cowards out of their misery?
Trouble is afoot.
Let's see what falls out of you.
Can't do that.
I'm... You got it.
Will do. Can't do that. I got it.
Phew. I can tell you didn't spend the conquest in a diplomat's I'm versed, by the way. But there are more important things to take care of than introductions. Those Vendrian guard we killed didn't come alone. My guess? The Vendrian guard are testing our strength in battle, learning how we perform before they organize a real offensive. That, or they're really, really desperate to get beyond the mountains and couldn't wait until nightfall. The voices of Nerat told me to intercept you at Edgering Ruins before you busied yourself solving all of the camp's problems. Guess I was too late. You're due for a meeting with the Archons, but we should handle the small matter of this ambush first.
Well, I guess we're going to battle.
I like that. Before we go, you might search among the remains of our fallen comrades. Wherever they're bound, I doubt they'll miss their boots, much less any rings or any useful iron they might be clutching.
Currency of divided realms was of questionable value and easily counterfeit, and rings offered the promise of shared economy. Simple enough for anyone to understand. Today they are standardized currency across all the known lands of Terratus. Their commodity and ease of transportation quickly made rings the perfect human for trade even in realms where caste species not observed. So basically just introduction to our currency.
No reason to pity the fallen. Before long, we might wish we'd joined them here. But at least we'll enjoy heavy pockets and warm toes. For the voices of Nerat!
Sorry, I can't.
Eyes forward, no looking back. Okay. Plot of bravery, but I implore you to end this foolishness and lay down your arms. There is no escape, and for all breaker, no surrender. I mean, not a chance. If I surrender and I'm as good as dead, at least we can drag some of the Kyrsis chosen along our short journey to the void. Scarlet Cruz reinforcement, hurry. Run down the old Brankens, let none escape. All positions, all of you there, keep the path. No, don't engage him, we need to run. These are 2 charges in your body. F1, F2.
you won't enjoy this as much as I do. Damn thing couldn't pierce cloth. What the fuck is wrong with my weapon? No dice.
Come quickly, we have a situation. Oh, the cliff side, they have the commander. Well, let's do the best the RPGs have to offer and just plunder it. Plunder the entire camp. Pelix Tyrell, show your weapon so we find out how. Store your weapon so we find how long a man screams before hitting the ring down below. Screw him, worrying not for me, grab Vash will protect. You heard the man, he plainly invited you to use that little blade of yours. What are you waiting for? Permission from a pimp? I'm sure that's how we'll have their visit from Scout Calls cats thirsty for a bit of torture. No, that's unfair, sure it is more of a hunger for torture than thirst, but you are correct, we have no charity left for those who have laughed at our mercy once before. If you fools won't deal with him, maybe I will. The alternate. That's right, now the rest of you drop those weapons. It is fair for us rush from the side by you. Tyrell barely manages to stay in grasp before being hacked in purple on swords and spears. The Kairos be praised that Oathbreaker fought with the rage of Cairn himself. Cairn, the mountains of Archon's known, the complete disfavor on the conquest. His temper, the proclivity towards destructive solution of branding him as liability to also otherwise orderly takeover. But his powers are not easily dismissed during the Azure campaign. Karen went on a rampage declaring himself the parent of Kairos. Oh, thanks for saying better. I thought it was my last. Huh. From the looks of it, yes, they thought if they swarmed the past, maybe one might make it out. We found a few scraps of parchment on the bodies. That was holds a handful of crumpled parchment. So in inspection, literacy is rare and not in Empire, where this fair top born and trained. Time spent reading and writing is, after all, time not spent sparring and reading one's body and mind for battle. I mean, yeah, but definitely they need to change something, cause, well, that would solve a lot of problems otherwise. Yeah, and we just tell them that they're trying to recruit somebody and how they actually failed here. Well, now we have fresh loot.
Can't do that. Sorry, I can't. Can't do that.
The prisoner says his name is Tarkis Demos. Then I don't think this is a complicated matter. He dies. His family been trying for sin, avenger and guard. Killing him should have left with the Takis clan. All must be given a chance to find the solution service of Scarlet Horrors. And you know full well that this has always been the way. He has a chance to be a slave or soldier, only then do we feed him to pigs. We'd like to take prisoners, but you can't control them. You send these conscripts out on patrol and they never return. Defecting all over again. The call should be allowed a chance to recruit new warriors. Execute the Oathbreaker once chance for surrender is enough. Let's show them some favor. This sort of nonsense that got us into a mess we're in now. If we keep showing these mongrels mercy, they'll just bite us time and time again. If it calms your nerves, I assure you that this one won't be put on a battlefield. Make sure prisoners is taken straight to Voices of Nerat. I won't keep you here any longer, Fate Buyer. I know you have important business on Valley for the glory of Kairos. Need supplies. I trust you've been... So what will it be? I trust you've been granted proper stewardship of one's goods you are peddling. Well, you see, Fatebinder, I think so. I've been handed these bits of script that reaches across stack of provisions to snatch a scroll case, but I'm not a woman of letter. Numbers are my strength, as you can well imagine. Let me see those. Certainly good Fatebinder. And she hands scrolls, well, very quizzical expression. A cursory reading contains this magic is granted the unlimited right to trade in logistical capacity when not supporting an active battle. She has the right to trade grain, copper, and olives anywhere in the tiers. If you excuse me. Well, I'm back, sorry. Sorry for that. And now let's see, I'm reading... I guess, yeah. See what it have. Oh. No, that's a little bit wrong. Okay. Hachira's bronze acquired this on behalf from an Aquatoon's agents, I believe, to have any issue. A problem? But how can it can be? I paid a spans profit for stewardship. What sort of problem is there? You have the right to trade as part of active warfare. Currently, it would seem our armies are unable and will to fight. Give me a Faybanger. Remember everything fine. You what? You've been around the course too long. Seems our sense of humor is a rubbing of a sense of justice. Okay. No, I understood everything correctly. Great. Okay.
Can't do that.
Nothing here. Travel to this favorite camp. Okay. Hell, Fate Binder, Kempson. All about I don't mind much, just clearing out the rubble. Still don't understand what I've done to offend. I respect that there are now disfavored lands, and I'm happy to give the Legion proper toll, but she's going about trading right. What nonsense is that? Might not allowed to trade one thing for another. It's not like I'm selling weapons turning to peasants or anything of that sort. I decided that these warriors have a right to kill you. You should be more thankful that I listened to you speak. They will circulate all trade. This is not of my concern. Carry on. Trade permit, well, how was I mean, to whom I speak for such thing? No, that's not a problem. Maybe march back to Buster City and plead your case before too long, but we are letting a burden leave you of your purse first. That should make the long trek a bit more bearable. You're on this fair land. Anything to be argued before tomorrow may be argued before me. You had best start making very strict orders to why I should help you. That's when to discuss. We should kill this mongrel if the Fateminder wishes to weigh on the matter. The Kirstenians will listen. This is decided matter, but I know the agents of the court do so love to throw the judgment around. I mean, a little bit of, but I think that's gonna be good. Well, you could rob me now and have a surplus today, or you can leave me alive and have fermented honey all year long. I even know a few family recipes for painkillers and heal droughts. Certainly any army will need those. These are essential goods for warfare. We should leave this supply intact. What a coincidence, your family recipe for wound paste smells just like Scarlet Fury's own concoction. Where do you steal these? If the stair have reason to question these items, I shall trust the judgment. Huh. I don't know what to on. Athletics. Yeah, slow down. I'll tell you everything, just don't hurt me. That's good. I found most everything out in the forest of the valley. I kept my head low when I heard sounds of combat. Then I took a look and grabbed whatever wasn't claimed by the first victor. So then you stole from this favorite dead? How else did you get your hands on that iron? You would come here and sell us our own ornaments? If everything has an aura, I will return it, but this iron would have turned to rusty flat in the mud of a battlefield. The desert are few numbers. Is that not right? You need a man like me to gather supplies that would otherwise go to waste. The desert will tolerate your present, but you will pay them handsomely for such clarity. Leave this card as a gift to Grain Urchin. The Living come back. You stole from Archons and then wish to sell it back. Your life ends here. Your servant will tolerate peasants, but you pay them handsomely for such charity. We will? We will. It sickens me to make a session for the vulture, but if you supply this ferret without profit, perhaps this indiscretion is for the best. It's not like our larders are overflowing. A work slave to scratch provision would be an asset. Ooh. Agent Lithium Crossing. Thank you for interceding on my behalf. I know my life will now depend on showing this very due gratitude for suffering my presence. If I must go a bit to earn my daily grain, so be it. Good. Thank you for talking those decided from doing worse. Sad times we live in when making humble livings better than crime. Oh, well, naturally. One good deed deserves another. Well, when I have my shop up and running, I'll sell you provisions for a song and give you proper bounty. My odd bits of weaponry find, provided that you keep standing up for me should those iron goods try to wrap me up second time. Ooh, you're lucky with us before much. Take care that you don't change our luck again.
Sorry, I can't.
Ooh. That makes crazy kind of sense considering how long the siege has taxed the armies. I can understand why Kairos would send you with an edict to split things down. Have you read it to know what it says? The Archon Mask Ascension held by Kairos is there. They or will all perish. Yeah. The war tent is just to the center of the camp. One last thing, be careful around these disfavored types. They take their war seriously and most have suffered too many blows to the head.
Yeah, no.
Nope, I can't do that.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
A modest grave for the Archon's son, Brennix. We don't bother with funeral rites in the chorus. No point in thanking conscripts for their duty.
Garen Ashen protects. Well, look at you, our gate crusher from the court. Concord decision, the gates of judgment. Welcome to this fair cash. I was have to visit. That he does. We offer binary glory to Kairos.
Sorry, I can't.
Okay. Geography, encyclopedia, notes, records. Where is the reputation and such? Oh, here. God of course, disfavored. Burial Guard. Within Crossing. Birds, Grave Ashen. Voice of Nirad. You deserve to appreciate your honorable ways. Guess we're gonna be wandering around the campus. It's any good RPG. Ooh, talk to him first. Hail to you, the guardian of the law. If you have few excess rings weighing you down, best remember to stealth before battle. Our father is familiar with trade. Might I expect your stock? Of course, by all means, I have nothing to hide. Everything seems to be in order. I'm glad to hear it. There isn't a temptation in the world that would steer me from the good favor of Tunon or Kairos. Well, that's definitely a smart move, my dear Pentibor. Hard work and a good supply. The two men came to our village. All the merchants were given different lists of what they were or weren't permitted to trade. Kairos' wisdom, my record must have been a good one because I was given a right to trade in all manners of goods, most importantly, arms. Not a lot of merchants can legally sell weapons. It was like that even before Kairos. Well, let's see the wares. Bronze hammer, bronze javelin, bronze spear, bronze sword, bronze ring, iron ring, and a copper ring. Good. We need to sort out a bunch of things.
Sorry, I can't.
Bit equip, we saw them down there. Glory to the voices of Nerat, Bitbander Agathon, I presume. I'm bit equip, I'm here as the emissary of Scarlet Chorus. What's like reporting to the Iron Hag is an insult. She fought on the duel for her title. What? Her leadership must be continuously proven, earned, and defended. Weakness should lead to the bottom of the army, not rise to the top. My assent here is also an insult, but one will bear for the good of the cause. If I want to see with my own eyes the failure of this fair, that will be a fine day. Which kilometers start Horus? Tell me about Nerat. He's the supreme commander, a public servant. Voices of Nerat is the epitome of what each of us can be: a magician without equal and the leader of countable numbers. The doctrine strength speaks to me, and I answer the call, as did so some of my arcane peers. I took to the chorus almost instantly, and like most, I cried not for the life of comfort lost to me. My magic invokes fear and terror, and I easily established my dominance over back in my early days in chorus. What's your role in chorus? I'm the blood shutter. My magic can turn the will of man and the tide of battle. I have held command for 3 years now. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So far understandable. We have like a chaotic. I guess both factions are evil. We're basically choosing between chaotic evil, who sometimes have common sense, and very rigid lawful evil in the form of disfavored. Okay. But equip nods use you depart. Ooh. Ooh. Buying weapons with scrap isn't exactly why I got into crowd, but our supplies are spent. When I forge bronze will not do will do in pinch, but don't get me wrong, it can take a beating and get bent back into shape, unlike the stubborn iron we have here. And we'll always have plenty of tin and copper lying around, so supplies aren't the problem. It's a rare smith who can churn out military grade bronze consistently. More often than not, it comes out soft. Look around the camp, Garment legions had to tow in iron because it's cheaper and easier to produce for the masses. Couldn't do it with bronze. Yeah, well, that's the thing about bronze armor and why basically a lot of like ancient armies switch from bronze weapons to the iron weapons. Bronze is requiring two materials, as he said, tin and the copper, which are like, you have to find two materials to create bronze. And while weapons were made of copper, they weren't good, and as soon as people discovered tin, they started making the weapons of the bronze just because they were better. But iron, while it is a little bit, it has difficulties working with it in some capacity, it is kind of logistically cheaper to produce because you only need the one material. You need just iron ore, which could be acquired in a variety of places, mines, or surprisingly meteors that are striking sometimes the earth. They're quite often made of iron and pretty pure. That meteors in fantasy usually source of magical power. No, they're just a very good supply of iron when you don't have capabilities to make mines to mine the ore. And iron is just better. You can make more varied weapons out of it, because bronze swords, they are good, but they're kind of softer than iron, and as such you have some limitations of what kind of swords and weapons you can make out of it. For example, you can't make a long sword out of the bronze. Well, you can, but it's gonna be way harder because it's just so soft it will bend more easily. While iron is harder, it will keep its shape. And yeah, making a consistent quality bronze, because you have to mix two materials, and if you want consistent result, you need to mix it consistently, which if you are not a good blacksmith, or if you live in the what looks like a Bronze Age collapse era fantasy, like here, because unlike most fantasy games, this one doesn't go into medieval times. It goes into more like ancient times, almost like Roman Empire type times. Making a bronze weapon consistently could be a big problem. Iron, it is harder to make each individual weapons, but you can get more consistent results. And of course, another benefit of iron is that once you know how to get iron, you're not far away from making steel, because steel is basically just iron with introduction of carbon. That's it. And we all know that steel lasted and still used in a lot of weapons, even like knives. They're made out of steel. Though it does, to bring like the comment of the trader whose life we saved from the past, iron does rust. Steel also rusts at slower rate, though bronze, it does not rust. It oxidizes, and you kinda covered with patina, and you can clean it up after kinda easily, so it's not an issue. But yeah, iron logistically is better, and unless polished, it's gonna be black, kind of blackish color. So it's in here it also makes them look way more evil, way more brutal. But I think it's just a coincidence. Well, it is made on purpose by the design team of the game, but I'm pretty sure that in universe, yeah, we are not wearing like dark, almost pitch black iron armor of the dark color because we're evil. No, it's just we haven't polished it to a great state. Well, coming back to him, you mentioned the iron shortage. I'm afraid force-bound iron and two-notice possibility. Why is this the first time hearing of it? Keep your voices down. Graven Asher doesn't want to cause a panic. If I find myself best case scenario, the iron tumble water rusting but worst case in that up in enemy set. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna help them. You see that? That is how we teleport our iron shipments from the rest. Inconspicuous so people don't go snooping around. You want to keep an eye out for these. Earthshaker stuff. Oathbound dagger, stone shield tower, oathbound helm, stone shield helm. Yeah, I need to go through my inventory and see. Okay, so this one is Spire, hide. Ooh, what does it do? Haste. +1 quickness. Guess we kinda limited in here, so I'm gonna go and just sell bunch of items. And the other, I guess, are just like items for sale. Those ones and scroll sigil of distant impact. Expression. This scroll contains a magical expression which is used in a spell that affects a target at a distance. Ooh, that's so I learned this how to craft spells that way. Ooh, that's cool. Bendra's Vel. Scroll lessens sigil of reaching gasp accent. This scroll contains a magic accent which slightly increases the range of a spell. Yoink. Learn it. That's actually gonna be my first game with the spell crafting, so that might prove itself interesting. Hmm. Adds armor penetration to the thrust ability and increases its accuracy. Save. Well, I guess she is like higher level than me anyway, so hmm. Yeah, let's trade it. And let's see. Okay, so that's... I guess that's the time between, like, the weapons, how soon we recover everything. And that's quest items. This one, let's see. I mean, the faster we recover, the more. And as such, we are... no, it actually does change how we look depending on the my cars. That's actually neat. And so we go.
What have we here?
I'm Lucia, this is Marcus. We've been assigned to babysit. Hospitality. Marcus. Not sure where. Well, so much to tell you. I trained at Fort Resolution. This is my first campaign. You're bragging that you got down and took a spear to the god. You beat a lot of Ashen now seem to notice you. Let's do this. She enthusiastically leaps off her fire shield and do this. She momentarily stops the air with a spear. Playing host is not a strong suit. I know a thing or two about sitting foes who are stupid enough to challenge me. What of it? How have you skills fit and battle against Allbreaker, Marcus? Wait. Is this all Roots did to send you to test arms training? Great, because I won't stand for it. I guess I need a level in. Let and let's see if Marcus offers anything better. Ooh, I should have trained here, but
Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't.
your skill can be used to impress character and concession when your knowledge or insight. That's good one. That's gonna be the most useful.
That's 4 reports of avalanches in the mountains now. The Tearsmen can barely count past 9. They have neither the capacity nor the cause to close off the mountain passes. Either way, that leaves the 2nd and 4th cohort trapped outside the valley.
Or it's the work of your perfidious Earthshakers. Only a fool would not suspect a traitorous Archon of poisoning the mind of his students with sedition. We would have killed the Earthshakers Guild for their master's treachery, but I'm sure you have some perfectly valid reason for allowing them to live as your pawns.
Hey, watch yourself. When these two get going, you don't want to get between them.
I always know you've run out of things to say when you resort to mocking my vassals. If we are to speak of treachery, why is it that my scouts see
Yeah, one thing about the Obsidian RPG is the fact that sometimes you have the voice acted dialogues, at least in CRPGs, sometimes you don't, so... My lord, the Fatebinder has arrived. Perhaps we could table this discussion and let our guests speak.
Speaking of strategic failures, Who was it that insisted the valley would need only a token garrison? For some strange reason, we can't seem to recall which balding halfwit grossly underestimated the enemy. Thoughts?
They bicker like children, do they not? I meant only to say welcome, welcome to our guest, the Fatebinder. And not a moment too soon. Garner Agathon long have been honored by your ire, now we are honored by your presence. I must apologize for my lost temper, run high of late. I apologize for sudden entrance. I've traveled a long way to be here.
Ah, the Stormcaller. Conveniently late once more. Our eyes and ears tell us you come bearing an edict. The anticipation is killing us.
My soldiers tell me you helped Commander Drotus on your way through Edring. You honor the court with your selfless cooperation, for that is the sort of camaraderie that Kairos demands of us all. Modesty is your prerogative, but know that cooperation and goodwill have been rarities of late. You do your Lord Tunon a great honor by aiding your cousins in the disfavored.
No, don't mind us while you trade your gushing praise. We're sure the Fatebinder has come because our company lacks in small talk.
It seemed only yesterday you were proving your worth in battle, assisting my warriors in the siege of the bastard city. Now Kairos has chosen you for a second time to proclaim an edict. Tell us, good Fatebinder, what sort of punishment does the Overlord have in store for the Oathbreakers?
Yeah, it seems that you need encouragement. You gain wrath with the voices of narrative favor. Yeah, one thing that was like kind of like
The Overlord
strange
needs to put
about
us
the
into action. No doubt the avalanches in the mountains are part of this ultimatum. We must conquer the Oathbreakers or die in failure. There is no room for error, and no other way out of this valley alive. We'll need to advance across the Mittani. We lose everything if we stand still. And we move to backup Plan Green. The Earthshakers didn't make it over the mountain in time. So we do this the hard way. Over the walls instead of through.
So you found your backbone at last! Oh, we were worried past humiliations would make you soft. Timid. That was a record for you, right? The baker's dozen lost in one sortie. If you had waited for the chorus reinforcements, maybe we'd have eyes and ears on the matter.
They call you the Archon sickness, but you certainly don't seem to know anything remotely useful. Huh.
Second the Fatebinder.
Ooh.
Thought you had the memories of one of those Oathbreakers rattling about that bronze gourd of yours. Would Kairos' mighty spy master please enlighten this gathering of allies with some scrap of strategic insight?
Our river was to be the bulwark, but with the Tidecasters slain, what hope remains? It's so cold in here. Help me, please.
Our sources tell us the Oathbreakers had some sort of magical trick in store. But this knowledge is tinged with fear, trepidation. If we make a move for the Mittani, we suspect the Oathbreakers will mount a counterattack that is equal parts valiant and futile. That was Mittani Yanev.
Yanev,
Noble of
yes, of
Apex
course.
and one of the leaders of the Vendrian Guard. Back when they were half-respectable enemies that knew how to lose with dignity. When the Guard first surrendered, Yanev presented himself to us. What he knew, we now know.
Our lives can be banned because you two bicker like children. Now go solve this problem you've started. Ooh, Malad Barik and his band have been drilled on the Echokol assault plan. The Crescent Runners should be briefing him as we speak regarding the latest enemy movements along the rivers. I'll dispatch him at once. And I will ensure that Chorus stands ready to march. If the Desert can take the river, the Chorus has the manpower to secure the outer ring of the valley.
Our soldiers clamor for battle, and at last we shall have it. Verse, we command you to continue guarding the Fatebinder. Tunan's chosen is our honored guest, and must be shown our finest hospitality.
I won't let you down, boss. He'll get through the campaign in one piece, as long as he doesn't do anything too stupid.
And lest we forget, we owe you a debt, Stormcaller. Last year, our spies in Stalwart were falsely accused of siding with the locals. Had you not been there to weigh in, justice would no doubt have gone awry. Bribery? But we paid you after you helped us. You law pups are so hard to figure out sometimes.
I ain't tolerating bribery. I might bend the law, but I will not go against it. Kairos doesn't like bribery.
Finally, the fool and his puppet are gone. Perhaps now I can hear myself think. Rarely do I question Kairos' judgment, but I will never understand why the voices of Narot is given such authority. I shudder to think what will become of us all should Tunon favor him in the end.
Well, depending on how the stream goes, we might not discover.
I cannot shake the feeling that our allies will work against us. You've shown your worth in war, and your name has been known to the Legion since the very beginning of this long conquest. So I'd ask that you join us this one last time, to help us wrap up this last objective. If you wish to be counted amongst the glorious, speak with the Iron Marshal. She will direct the order of battle until we are ready for the final push into the Citadel.
Neat.
I ask myself that question often. While we take the river crossing, the Scarlet Chorus should be using their sizable presence to remove the Oathbreaker patrols lurking in the Outer Valley.
Makes sense to me. I'll be at the training grounds, training the soldier and Spider-Man there when you're ready. And though I am loath to mention it, the Chorus can likely use your assistance. They certainly won't secure the outer valley on their own. Fifth Eye will be somewhere in that rat's nest they call a camp due east. Seek him out if you must. Loot time.
Good thing I keep a torsion wrench handy.
Favored with Scarlet Horse. Disfavored. Vanguard. Crossing.
Can't do that.
At the very least, I just hope we're gonna get to the Scarlet Chorus camp. But for now, Severus. Fatebinder Agathon. Am I right? I am Kevis. Sevis? That's kind of like a lack of the voice acting kind of makes it hard to judge what the characters' names are, so I guess it's Sevis? Kevis. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, he's Kevin. The rank says commander, but lately I'm just organizing patrols and try to stay out of the way. You should talk to Iron Marshal if you something official that needs discussion. What is your need? I heard you asking Earthshaker where they're reinforcing a gun. Is there a problem? I'm afraid so. Radix, the head of Earthshaker, was supposed to arrive with the group. His most competent spell singers to help break the stalemate. I don't know what's holding up their arrival, and that worries me. If you're only inclined to lend a hand, we could use some arcane support on our side. I could lend a hand. Could you? I knew that two non-agent wouldn't fail us in a time of need. I'll mark the last known site of our Earthshaker's reinforcements on your map. Good hunting, Fatebinder. Why do you think the siege has delayed so long? It should have been over real quick and simple. The first cohort arrived in the valley and went right for the kill. But that was before we knew that Rendering Guard had sages and that water witch on their side. A bigger problem is Scarlet Courts. They eagerly conscript the Vendor Guard. But yeah. Come to the binder, seems like asking why beasts sting. The Desperate are the only too eager to deliver Kyle's peace to the tears, while Scarlet Courts brings only making their wake. You can tell me the voices of Nara has a plan, and I'll take your word for it, but the course sure seems to blunder around, never moving with purpose as we do. I wonder if we've been fighting the same war soldiers. I've seen Asher yank his precious soldiers away from battles that's than more battles than he's won. If you want to call progress, be my guest. Unless we find a way to work as one, I feel the Scout Corps will step in front of Graven Ashen's strategies at every turn, and as far as I'm concerned, seems the Vossel narrative is here to amuse himself, while the rest of us here to do our job. Not much to tell. My father was Severus the Elder. His father, Severus the First of his name, led drill masters of the Ash's first Iron Guard back when they were Bronze Guard. Iron Guard stays with Sky Command. I was born into Legion, and with any hope I'll die in the Legion. The rest we'll hopefully hear about when it starts towards me. Bronze Guard? Well, his day and age was a century ago, and they didn't have Kaiser's modern luxuries like iron. So back then, the great generals in the council was known as the Bronze Guard. He was a Bronze Guard, so he must have been with Ashes since before he was with Kairos. You know history. The blood goes back that far, not the memories, as I only ever knew my father. My grandfather was just a legend, one of Asia's best warriors, back before the Third War, a forged in iron. I'm proud of my heritage, but I'm trying not to brag. There are folks who love the Legion every bit as much as I do, and they like the same pedigree. You should verify your pedigree. Thanks, but I try not to think about it too fondly. If anything, every time I screw something up, I wish I wasn't dragging the family name through but along with me. He has a very good kind of showing about that, so farewell to him.
Sorry, I can't.
Sub-Refuge 32. Well, if it isn't Fatebinder. Yeah, if you're someplace how to use that weapon, you let me know. Lucia, you're flirting with tone Fatebinder. Every battle is a reminder of the Legion's superiority. The old Berkir have plenty of hearts, but nothing to bear their northern values and Greenwich love. If you want to enjoy the feeling, I can spare you the day to cross iron. What's like serving with the disfavored? In spite of the name, the Legions command more honor than any military on the face of Terratos. Unlike the Corps, there is a tradition, discipline, teamwork, and unity of purpose. There aren't many of us, but it's better that way. We're tightly knit family bound together over trust and glory. Well, yeah. If the Legion boasts such much power, why are they disfavored? Ooh. I guess we need a better reputation for that.
Good thing I keep a torsion wrench handy.
Ooh. Don't just cut on impact, push back with your shields, take the momentum. As eyes on your opponent, the waistline. If you spend more than a glance checking this footwork, you've lost. I have brigades amassing along Placid, Call, and Lithtooth Crossing. The firing gun may be able to hold one bridge, but they can't hold against concentrated or three-sprung attack. Will assist. The second major attack on the river, correct? What happened last time? Defeat in detail. We carved the bloody path of the river, but at that point everyone who charged ahead was lost. We had no Chorus backup, it was just you. His favorite sword, I can't tell you exactly how they were defeated, but we lost the whole Zalt team. Found bodies washing up the river, so magic most likely. Really? Are you sure scouts didn't give you all sorts of details about the enemy and you just disregard the warning? Trying to pour salt on pride will left the fort resolution with hundreds and there been no response and so reserves. Keep throwing. If the destroyer didn't take every opportunity to Scarlet Horse, perhaps you'd find more help than forthcoming. As while I've taken a crossing, we can just march from here to Citadel with the Vengeance Guardmen in the river banks. Blah blah blah. If we take the river, yeah, we'll assist. That plan might work. We are allowed to work with those who do not share our training and our values, but we know that tune on the educated selects only the most capable minds for this code, and I trust you will honor us on the field. Yeah, trusting me, that's gonna be a problem considering I suck at this kinds of games. Oh, the big boy Barik.
Fatebinder.
He looks like the
Iron
tank.
Marshal has tasked me with keeping you alive, and I have no intention of Likewise, good Binder.
Barrick, is that you under there? I had no idea you were in Vendrian's well. Fatebinder, do you know this walking anchor? No. Oh, that is to say, yes. I'm already as familiar with this ironclad.
We don't have time to trade jabs today, Verse. After the siege, you can throw as many tantrums as you please. I suggest that we remain focused on the mission.
No offense to the mission, but seeing you looking like a garbage heap and reeking of a mass grave is more amusing by far. Did you forget how to don your armor, or did Grave and Ash leave you out in the rain?
You're generous to say so. I'm afraid I left the better part of myself on the killing fields of Stalwart, but it's still in my pride and honor to serve the Legion.
Ooh. The Fatebinder will be joining us for push across the river. I figured an extra hand might help. And more importantly, if my word is true, the Chorus tries to beat the mission, we'll have an observer from the court on our side.
I look forward to working with you again, especially after our time in Stalwart. You defended our honor to the Scarlet Chorus, and a friend of the Legion never goes unthanked.
Huh.
Better to work with the Honorable Binder than some chorus children.
I asked that Bark accompany Zed to betray the cooperation between his company and Scarlet Horse. Barik, you've been without a cohort since the last Battle of Starward. It's time we gave you a task more worthy than hauling wagons and Legion training drills. Ashe has assigned you to the Fatebinder service. You assume this task are ongoing until find more permanent spot for you. Well, I guess he's stuck with us until the end of the game. Excellent. Look forward for success in the field.
Negative, Fatebinder.
Can't do that.
Use insignia. What's that? Ironwalker helm. Yep, that's it. Ambush. I think this is the story ambush, if I remember from last time. Yep, that's a story related ambush.
That's far enough, Fatebinder. In accordance with ancient customs north and south, I offer and request a delay of blade. There are matters we must discuss without fear of reprisal. As is our custom, we are ready to kill to defend our lands, but we kill only in fair battle. We don't slay our prisoners. We know this isn't Kairos's way, but we must have hope. A few of my kin have gone missing, and though they may have perished, I have to inquire on the off chance they still live. If Captain Tarkus Deimos still lives, we would negotiate for his release.
Assuming he's our prisoner, what would you offer in exchange?
We would offer you 5 choirmen that got lost on patrol. They're healthy, got other limbs too.
I would not have us barter with Oathbreakers. Certainly not for anything less than disfavored lives.
You say there's something worth less than a disfavored life. Call me intrigued.
Darkest Demons is with horses now.
And if we see him again, it will have to be as enemies. If I may make one more inquiry, what of Palox Tyrell? Did he survive?
Estelle is dead.
My apologies, Fatebinder. I had a terrible feeling this errand was in vain from the start. I had no expectations that our friends could be saved, as I'm sure the time for swapping prisoners is long gone. But at least I know of what became of them. That'll have to be enough. And all that remains is for me to thank you for hearing me out. In accordance with our ancient customs north and south, let us part with peaceful accord.
Can't do that. Sorry.
Oh no, I can't just attack everything in my path. Well, that's neat. That's neat. Looting everything. Missiles. The Will of Kairos. Okay, Agathon, word has reached this code that you have issued the Order Cities to the Archons of War. Secrets, note that we must understand fully the weight of this burden and appreciate the loyalty shown to its declaration. Provided you survive this span, your services will be duly recognized. As you navigate the idiosyncrasies and mutual antipathy of our Overlord's War Masters, remember that Kairos watches all with interest. Those who distinguish themselves, whether Fatebinder or Archon, have the opportunity to rise in the Overlord's esteem. Even now, the Northern Courts whisper that the more successful of two Archons will be granted rule over the whole of the peninsula. Similarly, your fortunes rest upon the decisions you make. Choose wisely. Thank him for advice. Yeah. I guess that's just gonna be, hey, we know everything's bad, we got report to us.
Sorry, I can't.
I'm Agathon Fatebinder of Turn. I'm always in the right place. The captains are looking us with you. That walking hunk of rust. What is she maybe doing here? He is a warrior and my guard. You don't want to make issues with this. An issue with this, yeah. Fine, just come in. I'm sure the ferry will get you if you're really a problem. Ooh, new sigil discovered. Neat. Sigil of Focus Intent. Express use will create a spell that affects single target near the caster. Yep. Figured it out already, so
Can't do that. Huh.
Good thing I keep a torsion wrench handy.
Rot Spear. That's not what I thought, but hey.
Can't do that.
Huh. Bronze hammer. Implementation 3. What about the armor? Nope. Matches mask. Crossfire and armor. Walker's boots. These items is used iron boots cannot be removed. Okay. Well, look who we have here. The Fateman is finally shown himself. I'm Reg, and this is Buzz. We are wondering when you might pay the camp visit. The attack has been a little stuff for attention. Here us to watch you travel somebody. Make sure you don't get out of line. Neat. We get like another pair of people to watch over us and also give us a little bit of teaching and skills. I was a sussword, had the back end call for fat merchants, just another dented face in the crowd. Gotta show up me a better way, unity, purpose. I had family, farm, and then chorus came, and, well, now I have a horse. Priorities change when you hear screams in the night and feel a blade pressed against your neck. When the scout calls conscript ability, he holds the ceremony known as the calling. Every able-bodied man, woman, and child is given a weapon and forced to fight their family and friends to the death. Neat. Regan, I am conscripted at the gates of judgment. He used to fight for Okon, me for Azure. 11, no, 14, and count each day in the thunder separately. The chorus is not as bad as it smells. The strong, like me and Reg, we're allowed to take what we want, what we deserve. We live only as well as our strength affords, as it should be. What can I tell about Fifth Eye? They say that he just dialogued with the voices of Near, guard your tongue around him. He's a little wild, bloodthirsty, mad, brilliant. What do you know about Vengeance? Well, the walls might seem imposing, but the Vengeance gotta do a better job of hiding its weaknesses than fixing them. We took the Citadel once before, we can take it again. We have to, don't we? Though Kaius knows I don't want to stay any longer than necessary. You should know better than to parade your cowardice before the Fatebinder. People do, I seem to have reputation. The fact of the matter is that we're told to stay away from spires and old walls ever since we were babes. Of all the our childhood lessons that fell by the wayside, that one stayed as the same. Imagine soldiers of the corps pissing himself over architecture. More like what's underneath it. The Bane looks around those old cities and kill anything they can catch unawares. I've no wish to meet the Bane in the combat unless there are hundreds of blood chanters at my back. Best. Let's see if you can teach me. Nope, nope. Nope. Yeah. Ever since the Fatebinder spoke Kaius aesthetic, I felt like bugs were crawling under my skin. Oh, didn't you see that, Fatebinder? Rex, show me what the Fifth Eye has been teaching you. Well, mate. No, I think I should have stayed with Barrick there. What an honor, the name Sniggle's daggers originated from the relative tranquility of the Northern Empire. I've since accepted the nomadic life for the sake of keeping Kaius' forces supplied with only the finest goods, local and imported. Let's see your wares. It's not much, but let me know if you see anything that... Hmm. That's good. That's good. Reaper, no. Hmm. Hmm. Yoink. And now, coming right here. Scarlet Fury gloves. Hmm. Opportunities tend to have a position. Bleeding, burning days, my neck, hobble, paralyzed, poison, stun. Basic. Okay, this one. This one seemed to be a better armor against quite a lot of things. So, except for a set of Fierce and Fire. But I guess it's good. Plus it has a nice bonus against any enemy under negative effects, which is good. So it turns for 19. Huh. We've got enough useless twats dying for our name as it is. All our horde recruits in good for of late is spilling a shit-freaking mound on the battlefield. Keep us and we'll have to toughen our recruitment standards. Again, you said something about horde thinning. Swelling until it's thundering, then crashing and receding. It's been that way for horses as long as it's been. We take our prisoners alive, give them a chance yet to live, to be reborn into something better, putting any and every able body to the sword like the disfavored, to do nothing is a waste, and conquer the enemy is but a new ally, it merely requires the proper coercion. Of course, we do sometimes have the problem lingering loyalties. Deserters are rarely successful in their escape, but they do try. The Vendrill Guards, strengthened by their numerous blood ties, have been particularly stubborn, so have had a better plan hatched. Brutal and efficient. Yeah, I kinda like brutal and efficient. Had a feeling you'd say it that way. I think he would do a double effort to recruit settlers, focusing on an aligned and unsuspecting instead of flashing ourselves to the gills with Oathbreakers claimed from a battlefield. And how we do it? Oh, if it means succeeding the end to this managing conflict, so be it. Let's see. From a deeds during the conquest, how you helped us since then. Suppose I didn't expect much and you'd done nothing to change it. But Scarlet Corps standards, you are no more ordinary than a conscript. Work a little harder on setting yourself apart and do up to a name. Insult me again and I'll bury that blade in the belly before you can scream. Heh heh heh. We are the voices of Nerad's glory made manifest. The Corps' strength rises and the weak feed the soil. Always terrified the cowardly and shook the naive, but our tradition exists to offer promise and prestige to those fit to claim it. Yeah, survival of the fittest kind of deal. Chaotic, evil, yeah, cool. Sometimes they do have sensible thoughts, but then again, it is a rarity. When you see one, we are the warriors, the spirit of the Corps calls us swords and sheep. Peace between those. Huh? Oh, it's wonders of wonders. I eat what I want, I shit where I want, and I kill who I want. Sometimes I even combine the pleasures. My enthusiasm for the work brought me here. A Deckard Scarlet Fury veteran, eh? But I'm looking for advancement if it means killing one of the gang's bosses. I'm not above taking a swing at someone bigger than me. They can be bigger than you, just make sure they don't hit harder than you. Well, what system? Farewell. Hellfire Bider. But I'm pleased to meet you all the same. Do they know anything of sort? Aren't I? Aren't much always said I was too soft when came in to the incomers of accounts of me being such a good-natured fellow. In fact, you should tell the Death Knell that maybe she'll stop hiding troops movement from me or passing me the enemy intelligence she'll think gets me killed. When stationed with the Corps from the way most of my days go, you'd think I was here to roll with blood chanters. There are rabbit dogs, all of them. Yep, as much as I expected. Isn't it? I know, fucked up to get here, got 3 days in the hall and nice little promotion to go with my new post. Well, I won't be making the same mistake twice when it comes to Iron Marshal. That's a good question. What does Salvaros did? I made the great mistake of suggesting Iron Marshal wasn't fully utilizing the Scarlet Cause. Well, here I am. A liaison officer to a camp of liars and cheats who'd sooner got me than ask for my mate. I guess she showed me. Being a partisan, but I know for a battle where my life wasn't on the line. Kind of nature of war, isn't it? Well, farewell, and see him later.
Can't do that.
Binders of Tunon. Tunon? Now that you have issued the edict, blah blah blah. Just you getting warriors ready for battle. No work fakers are focused on the citadel beneath the mountain spire, giving the battles of a tank. Hmm. Wrong, and perhaps it is not meant to be to hurt these many desperate lives. For every two hands of humanity, there is at least one finger that snaps from the stress of our ways. So you need help taking out these oath breakers. And while a good old-fashioned slaughter would be an efficient solution, the smart answer is not to kill them, to a strength to ours. The unintelligible mutter from under Fifth Mask. Do not tell the voices of Nerd what to do, nor do I question his motives. The Archon is busy plotting the efficient destruction of these old breaker. It's not to be disturbed. I've known Archons demand personal interrogation, but it's only ever been with the leaders, mages, and other great merits. I often imagine the interrogation process not to be taken lightly, because it's not downright exhausting to Nerd. Let's talk with prisoners. I'll meet you there. Zero in the chorus, while the whole of course remains loyal to what Sister Nard. I'm truly most loyal. Also loyal of his numerous warriors. He's a Crimson Spear, part of Arcos inner circle. Fair enough. Did you ask for his honor? I did not have to. Voices of Nayat saw the need inside of me, thought these arcane ministrations burned away the clinging clawing parts of me that foolishly resisted his enlightenment. Ooh, they're throwing insult at each other. They're gonna be the best buddies. Not really. At the center of Vandal's Well, the base of a mountain spire is a small fortification, a central hall. In the main of its citadel is in a council chamber. But do you know what described command? I'm Martian Ares is a doting warrior, just like an Archon war. She's one of a few disfavored, cautious and cowardly enough to be trusted by Archon siren toddlers. No doubt her primary qualification is being related to Ash. The Legion's a little big into his pedigree, if you catch my drift. Stand down, binding of Fifth Eye are here to cooperate or to snipe at each other at every turn. Keep insulting. I suppose that depends on where you're standing as just Fate Binder. Not all of us enjoy the purge of lawful objectivity. Some of us have had to endure these crashes and the pitiful excuses of war. Enough, the Fate Binder is here to... because of the debates have stayed our hands for too long. Say what you want of the Iron Marshal, if only so we can part ways and be done with this siege. Please, someone, I wish to bow before voices of Nerat. Thought all could find redemption in this course. This one was Holstein earlier that she knows the location of Andrew's encampment, but she isn't being entirely honest. I told this thing that I wanted a guarantee I lived. You claim you would disarm your people of Scarlet Horse. Why the change of heart? Because I want to live? and don't need to be an Archon of Premonition to know what the younger realms have gone for good. But should I trust you? I suppose I have no answer to that. When I joined with Vanderglad, I accepted their broken vow onto myself. Have you not felt a passion for a foolish cause? One you'll later come to regret? Well, my surrender is sincere. I'm willing to bow before voices of Nara to prove it. Well, see, so I don't know exactly where there are some crews, but I mean, I can tell you. Search that one. The tall, dark one missing most of his face. Check his left boot. He was the littered one of our crew. He had the orders. Seeing as you're an expert on the subject of fate, I will entertain your wisdom on the matter. What then would you we do with her? On the two other prisoners. Let's test her loyalty. If I kill this guardsman with something blunt, send her back to our agent. When the time comes, she will aid us all. We track down her kin. You're wasting a good slave. Work her until she's broken. Fit her to pigs. Fine decision. And Opec already had their chance to surrender and chose to play the boss faint. Let's make an example of her. That's neat. Hey, she's still alive technically. What? Not. But I gave you information. Motherless savages may hunger take your children. We're no longer fighting the old Rick. Girl's position, nor with the cryptic mess she promised us answer, and she gave her was gibberish.
Sorry to interrupt, but I highly doubt it's gibberish. More likely, it's one of the local scripts. I'm Sage Lantry, one of the hired quills that was coordinating missives between the Vendrian Guard captains. They aren't paying me anymore and aren't coming to my rescue. So I'll decipher that parchment for you. That's what smart prisoners do, right? Make themselves useful. Let me see. I don't know exactly what it says, but I'm half certain that's Sage Selwyn's handwriting. I'm sure I could decipher that in a few hours' time. Don't need my hands free, but I think better when not tied to a post. I know, I'm weird that way. Fatebinder, I beseech you, be my advocate for this trial. I'm no fool. I know the chorus uses blood, not words, to settle these matters. But you are a servant of the Archon of Justice, are you not?
Yeah.
Good. I like it when Tunon's puppies get their paws dirty.
I wouldn't mind taking a swing at some loudmouth chorus braggarts myself.
Did you hear that, brother and sister? Trial combat. Hey, we gained favor. We're gonna be fighting. Sage unbound from pulse, stiff legs nearly buckles. If they got this support help fight the enemy, I venture the war would be over by now. Begin to shout of gathering, let the warriors know that tonight's entertainment will soon commence. Brothers and sisters, who amongst you set the standards for strength? Who amongst you will help we know the weak from the strong? Our claimants have been assembled, now let the trial of Breaker begin.
future. You got it.
Like the fiber both bang on the shoots and armor, harassing an enemy.
Come and feast my iron!
All right, let's do this. You got it.
The chorus has a rather bloody definition of the word trial. That was fun, your sons put up a good fight. Now see if this moment worth the effort. Not in a lasting capacity, I'm adjusted but fine. Now believe I have a pattern to isolate lest I anger the powers that be. Well, much of the parchment was weathered, but I could make out the important parts of the text. That note makes mention of a meeting spot in the tripnet. So the old sage knows his words after all. I ask that you travel ahead and see if you can't get the Captain Florian to yield to the chorus. They will strike at the first sight of a chorus gang, but perhaps they will parley if he or sees the face they see. I know the area, I suggest we go there once, I'll show the way. I'm eager to be front of stage of this camp. I met sages every bit as cutthroat as a hardened gang bosses. They act part of the doddering scribes, but don't let that fool you. Smart for someone your age to be so mistrusting, but I'm not an old breaker if that's what you fishing it. I work for them under duress, but I've no love for them. I'm not about to pledge to the chorus, and this favor wouldn't have me. Still, I consider myself a Kairos-fearing vassal of the Orlord's Empire all the same. Yeah, that's a smart move. For as long as I've been sage, I've been trained to defend myself. We don't spend all our time binding books and sketching in wildlife, just most of it. Yep. I know I may seem odd prey, but I know how to step lightly and how to not get killed. Really? I won't slow you down. Lead the way and let me know if I can be of service. Are we done here? Let's hightail to Tibnit. If your new pet doesn't behave himself along the way, I'm not gonna be clipping his ears.
Just point me in the right direction. I see as the crow flies.
Okay, now we... It proves everything, like for instance whether you fit to lead the flock of children. What's the problem here? Did you not hear the news of eating these foods to were to be saving our fight for the enemy? No problem, Lord Binder. Captain Fuckwit. Okay, that's a good response. He's about to balk from this challenge things because he needs to run a ship he's qualified to run a gang. So I'm calling him out because the way I see it, his warriors ought to follow me, not this new one.
Your day ends here.
You got it.
Right.
Apex currently and heavy bronze scale marks the first members of entering guard. The other warriors covering bronze set in heavy cured leather suited of the tablets down. Thanks of Bane, you recognize them the governor of the Linean Crossing, those members of bronze barcode, blossom essay out of heaven. Moving with the extreme. Carry you close to within listening distance over two groups, and you just drop on them and become immediately clear that Vandir and Grant hope to recruit that. Such is the way of Overlord, his troops die or will die. There is no Mandarin road, no parley, and no quarter. Oh shit, that's the part where I ended last time, where I got...
I'm on it.
Well,
filthy hands off me!
Come and face my iron! On your knees, worm!
I'll take care of it. As you command.
For the queen!
I got it.
Ooh.
I got it.
Because we have no time to waste here, we kinda have to try to complete as many things as possible before the 8-day period, so that's gonna mean a minimum coming back to camp or anything. What is happening should be on the other side of a bridge. We tried to rush a western bridge, blow for blow. We had them running, but halfway across the whole damn river just lurched up, and the cursed Matanes swallowed the bridge and most everyone on it. Only real soldiers we have left are Scarlet Furies, and I quite wisely directed them into flanking position. Few of us kept our footing, but the advantage was lost. We had to fall back. As we did, the Earthbreakers surged down the east bridge. We held ground until they fled back across the river, but now we're back to where we started with only fractional strength. That would explain it. I saw a woman dressed in blue on the other side of the river. Didn't seem like she fit with the others. Had we focused our strength on the perfect launch, we could have crossed the bridge before our enemy knew that was killing them. But it's not too late. We can use Scarlet Bruise too. There's a time for initiative, a time for patience. We should try to different parts in the river or come back later. The enemy is too wary of us now. Are you in such rush to seek our society come to pass? Sorry, quit, but I'll strap you in my back and charge down the other bridge alone, but doing nothing isn't an option. If there are here no grievances, I'd let you call the shots, but we are talking about the lives of my gang. Conscripts are copper, doesn't matter. Paris, I have worked hard to secure the loyalty of my gent. I'll not scrap them fine boys on so buffoonish plan. Well, do make me here? Oh, I know. Fatebinder. Order Antonio here to beg for my help. Make sure he stress how capable it is, how critical it is to rescue him. How do you think your words would change? I mean to say, perhaps the Fatebinder side. Antonio is in charge. When you meet next with me, Archons, you will tell the voices I was instrumental success of crossing. Just like that? No, wait, I won't question it. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, you had best be thanking me and the Fatebinder. We've said this favor time and time again. What's one more? Listen up, for this to work, my Furies need a moment to get out of cover. Fatebinder, you need to run up to his bridge. Don't get yourself killed, just draw their attention. I'll signal my Furies to send rope across while you leave them occupied. There's no time to waste. Let's hope your gang delivers. Thank you, Fatebinder, and good hunting. Okay, actually. I'm gonna save here.
Sorry, I can't. Can't do that. Curious. Huh.
I'd say that's worth a second glance.
Number of his body, the call from two other villages lay nearby, two victims that the ultimately could not shield from harm. Most of the homes on the southern side of the river have been abandoned, much like this one. Few citizens believe that raising a blue flag will be respected by Karis' forces. Huh. Hmm. Nope, not my thing. Iron Greatsword. Less armor penetration. King Javelin. Bronze Javelin. Red River. God Seeker. Higher range. More armor pen. Lesser accuracy. This is sigil of strength. Learn.
Can't do that.
Send them at me! Burn!
For the Queen!
I got it. You learn something every day.
Fall before me!
Hmm. Hmm.
Right.
You there, and you. Get over here. These ferret are back. Guess they forgot a javelin or two. Be a doll, would you hurl them back? You hardly house Matane. Apologies that your river must be dirtied with this conflict. Huh. I am honored, and I will trust that all the grievances wash down the stream. May the river guide you through the valley. Your friends seem to have misplaced most of their squad. Guess they're somewhere in my river. My family has been protecting this river for 6 generations, so it's easy to lose track of all the looters and vanguards we've had to fit to the hills. Unless you want to try running the leap over, you're stuck. Maybe try heading downstream to Placid Crossing. We have more warriors there, and I'm certain they'd be just as happy to kill you. Trying to take stock of our crew. We've had unexpected help of late. Or realm enough for everybody to come out of woodward to shiv you in the ear. Let us cross and we'll grant you mercy. Hold your Pause a second. I have a statement prepared from Captain Ari for just this moment. Wait a second. She searches into her belt and with the imperial smile pulls her hand out to reveal nothing but a local hand gesture for penis. Wait a second, Missy, here somewhere. She paints her in her pocket once more before displaying her pie gesture again. Wow, that's a shame. I guess they'd gonna wait her. And we gonna organize them a meeting. As amusing as I find this soon-to-be corpse, it appeared that our distraction had paid off. Only keep standing there, fate-binded. The river currents are quite unpredictable.
On it. Sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't. Can't do that.
Kuroko Gans has salvaged this mess. Well done. While you were toying with the old breakers, my gang had the opportunity to set a rope on the collapsed bridge over yonder, the purest way to join you in battle. Thanks, but for listening to Antia. Sooner this would have been necessary. We require no thank for carrying the burden as fair. It's too weak to lift. Plan now is to lower that bridge. My warriors can't swim in their armor. The lighter troops can move across the rope, then lower the bridge. We'll meet on the other side. Crossing by rope, are we? In that case, I might recommend that I go last. For once, I agree with them. Till my gang's been spotted. Go now, before they're overwhelmed.
Can't do that.
Another battle? I'm starting to think we're bad at... making sense.
Right. On it.
I'll take care of it.
I can't move! Are you afraid of death, worm? Oh, everything hurts!
Built for this sort of violence.
Someone staunch my bleeding.
I got it.
Are you afraid of death, worm?
I can't take much more of this.
Ooh.
Let them think they can hit me.
I got it. Right.
Kairos' butchers have come! Flee!
Retreat. There's too many. They've crossed the river. Pull back. Raise your hands if you... And if you live behind the orphans. I wish only to talk.
Send them at me in wave! Take that!
Right.
Pull yourselves together!
Where did all this blood
Take me if you can!
The fuck is wrong with my weapon?
Oh, come on. How the fuck is that?
I will aid you.
Feels like my bowels are on fire. You got it. I'd better not wake up dead.
No re-
I guess this is...
I'd have it no- I will aid you. I'll do it for the North. I will aid you. Time to change weapons. Are you afraid? So heavy.
Well, that was not great. Well, I guess I did not account for it being that few of the autosaves. Well, in this case we Thank you for whoever might watch it later or watch it now, and we'll be finishing the stream. Goodbye.